Hi, y'all! Welcome to the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I am your whimsical DM, Victoria. We're here on a little bonus session this week because I said so. So, before we get into things, we've got some announcements to make and some sponsors to thank. Kristy, put the clip in the tank. I don't know, tried to keep the rhyme going. Play the clip!
Play the clip! Here goes the clip.
Welcome to the show. And now a word from our sponsors. First off, thanks to Little Dragon Corp. Little Dragon Corp is a Canadian-based dice company that supplies all kinds of cool tabletop gear. Check them out on their Twitter at Little Dragon Co. 1 to stay updated on all their awesome products. Remember, you can use our brand new coupon code BONUS when you head over to littledragoncorp.com and get 15% off your order. Once again, the coupon code is BONUS, BONUS. Also thanks to Cardboard Castle Games. They are a lovely little brick-and-mortar game store local to Evans, Georgia. Remember to go check them out if you're in the area. Stop by and tell them that Proficiency Bonus sent you, and they might just give you 10% off your in-store order. If you're not in Evans, Georgia, don't fret. You can check them out online at their website, cardboardcastlegames.com. Also, big thanks to Sirenscape for the amazing atmospheric sounds and music. You can add these sounds and more to your game when you download the Sirenscape desktop or mobile app. The app is free and comes with 20 sound sets that are included when you get started. You don't even need to register. Go to Sirenscape.com to find out more. Additional thanks as well to Adrian Von Ziegler for providing some of the additional music we use here and on Wednesday nights. He's a talented composer with great content usage rules, so go check out his YouTube and Patreon and support him if you can. Don't forget to check out our other games. Our schedule is posted down below the Twitch feed. We stream basically every day here at Provo. We have games for several of the major published 5e modules, as well as some homebrew games, and some of our other games feature systems other than 5e, like Star Wars, Power Rangers, and Alien. Hopefully, we have something up your alley. We now have a community Discord with public channels. Please come check it out and come hang out with us. We are always welcoming new GMs, players, and other friends to our family. All experience levels are welcome, from veteran gamers to total newbies. We encourage people of color, LGBTQI+ nerds, and gamers to join us as well. I think that's everything. Back to you, DM.
Oh wow, we're back. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Kristy, for those announcements. Now, before we get into tonight's session, let's kick it on over to Inky Pinky. Give us a recap.
Alright, so last time on Wild Beyond the Witchlight, everybody, we are certainly beyond the Witchlight. We are in the Feywild. The party had an attempt to try and find any sort of landmark as they first entered into this realm, came upon this tower that was completely surrounded by brambles. While last session we were trying to figure out a way past said brambles to get into the tower, we encountered the first intelligent creature that has not tried to rob us, by the name of Mr. Stump, an animated stump that was originally from the material planes, such as us, but has now been living here in the Feywild. Mr. Stump is both a friend of Zybilna, the original person who awoke him and made him who he is today, but also is friends with the person that lives in the tower, though it has been some time since he has seen either of his friends. Realizing that they're probably not going to be able to get into the tower today, Mr. Stump offered the party a safe place to rest back at his grove, which the party eventually took him up on, but to travel there, they needed to be able to walk backwards saying, "Stump, stump, stump," over and over for a minute straight. This proved to not be too much of an issue for most of the party. However, Clover, in attempting to keep time, did say "Stump, Mississippi, Stump, Mississippi," and so found herself separated from the party for a time. However, she was able to reconvene with everybody, and so the party started to settle down and make their first camp within the Feywild. That night, there was some very nice talks between Dawn and Ego, as well as some dreams from Clover and Ego, who both seem to have met this interesting satyr-like individual that goes by the name of Sam, as well as Ego, having an encounter of some kind with their missing mother. However, we haven't really gotten to unpack all that because we're coming right up on the morning. Sure, we'll say that it's the morning. Time doesn't really matter here. But that's basically what you missed, and now you're all caught up on Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Thank you, Ink. Ink and Kristy, you may each have a D6 Bardic Inspiration for your contributions to the logistics of the stream. You can use it. You can give it to somebody. Yeah. But we're gonna get right back into it with Danica. I need you to roll a D8.
Me?
Yes.
Nice.
Gosh. Okay.
Please roll the same.
I swear to God, if it's the same, I'm gonna lose my mind.
What was it? What?
Wasn't it
No.
a 5? Or
What was that?
It was a 6.
Oh, was it a 6? Yeah.
I got a 6.
Are you
Yes! Oh no!
3 sixes?
Oh
Alright.
no!
I fucking knew this was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen.
This
I
poor
don't
man.
know why. I don't know why I was kidding myself. I don't know why I thought anything else would happen.
This
Okay.
poor man.
Poor
muting.
Sam.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Hold on. Now I have to play genre. Okay. Good lord. Okay, so Dove. It was a very long day, and just after getting all of this information, transporting to the Feywild, fighting all of those Harengon brigands, and then making your way through deep water and mud, to Slanty Tower. You're feeling a little bit worn out, a little bit nonverbal is just basically what I'm going with. So you spent time chatting with Leaves, the giant snail, who has become the party's beast of burden that, moves at a zesty 10 feet per round. You had to make sure that you guided Leaves to Mr. Stump's Grove, as although Leaves did not need to walk backwards and repeat the word stump, you did, so you had to get him there. And you promptly kind of clambered up onto a rocky outcropping and fell asleep for the not night, but you know what I mean, because the time of day has not changed at all in the whole time that you've been here. And sleep comes over you very quickly. And for all of the troubles of the day, Dove finally gets a moment to just unclench and relax, and she drifts away to the sound of bugs and frogs singing, leaves rustling, and then eventually she hears the sound of long grass rushing in the wind. And the sound of the frogs kind of fades away. The sound of murky, fetid water fades away. Oh yeah, Kristy, it looks good. Sorry. Graf, I just saw your comment about unclench, and then so you hear the sound of grass, and these swampy sounds fade, and it's just soft chirping of crickets and wind in the leaves and in the grass. And you feel cool air on your face that gently brushes past and caresses your skin. And that moisture and stale air that was clinging to you is gone. You open your eyes and you find yourself laying at the edge of a grassy clearing in the middle of the woods. The swamp is gone. You can see that there is a fat moon hanging in the sky above you, and little stars twinkling in the sky. And it casts a silvery blue glow over the space. And you hear the faint sound of a fiddle playing coming from another part of this clearing. But you're just there laying in the grass, surrounded by tall, old trees. What do you do?
I'm just gonna lay there a moment, just gonna enjoy it. Look at the moon, look at the trees. Probably smells real good. And then I'm gonna be like, who the fuck is playing the fiddle? And I'm gonna look over.
It's kind of hard to see the source at this distance. The grass is very tall and it's like waving and moving in the wind. And especially with you being small, the grass at certain points, tufts of it are actually taller than you are. So your vision is a bit obstructed, and there are some like large, like rocks and boulders kind of strewn throughout this clearing. You'd have to get a bit closer to see the source.
I'll try to get closer to it, and I'll hop up on a rock.
Okay. Yeah, so you hop up onto a rock, and you peer out into the distance. Roll me a perception check. Please.
What's it? Perception check. Oh, yeah? 12.
Yeah, so you noticed in the darkness a faint bit of moonlight, like a little cloud scuttles by the moon, and after it passes, a beam of light is cast onto the far end of this clearing, where you can see in the distance a humanoid figure is leaned up against a tree in just like a very casual, like relaxed position, and is playing a fiddle. You see somebody with a mop of curly golden brown hair. They appear to be wearing a tunic with red and yellow stripes, as well as purple like breeches or pants. And you can see they're just playing the fiddle they have a pair of horns that curls out from their head.
Okay. Do I recognize them?
You do. You recognize this person from two different memories. One quite recent, a certain clown individual who cornered you when the party was getting ready at the Big Top extravaganza. And going further back from that, you also recently rediscovered a memory, although parts of it are fuzzy, of this same individual helping Dawn learn healing magic.
That's right. I think initially when I met this person, I think I was wary of why they were asking about someone that I knew. And then I think after I got my childhood memory of them actually helping Dawn, I'm probably a little less wary than I used to be. I'm just gonna do like that little whistle you do when you do the, and I'm gonna try to accompany.
Oh yeah, like the.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it really loud. I'm gonna try to accompany his fiddle like a flute number, just to get his attention.
Roll a performance check.
Failing now. Okay, 12 as well.
Yeah, so initially you kind of start off just like violently blowing air into your hands, and it's very loud. And at first you definitely hear that like the fiddle for a moment like kind of falters. But you are gradually able to, like, the melody kind of slows down a little bit, becomes a little bit easier, and you're able to adjust like the movement of your hand to match like and sort of harmonize with this music. But you see this individual, while still playing the fiddle, he bows to you. And just kind of like watching you to see like what you'll do next.
If I see he's not approaching, and I'm kind of stuck on top of it. I'm very short, and I think I'm a little afraid I'm not going to be able to see where the heck I'm going if I jump back down into it. And this is just very dumb. I think she's going to yell. She's going to, like, when there's a lull in the melody, she's going to be like, "Don't I know you?" She's just going to yell that really loud.
Yeah, so you yell this, and the fiddle music cuts off, and you see the individual raises a hand to his face and says, "Well, I'd hope you'd remember me at the very least, but yes, you do know me. Hold on." And he will trot on over to you. You know, I have to say, 3 of you in one night, little bit unexpected. I understand that I'm very handsome, but, like, maybe next time, can you all, like, coordinate that and not... Because the last one was a real doozy. I only was just stopped crying.
What happened? What? Did you mean like Dawn? Dawn? You meant Dawn?
No.
That's supposed to be.
That ego? Over?
He looks at you with narrowed eyes.
Confused a little bit, like.
I'll tell you who it was, but what are you offering for it?
Like empty, linty pockets.
What does Dove think about offering? Do you think about offering anything in particular, either an item or something else? Or do you not think of anything in particular?
I think she almost doesn't want to be invasive. She was kind of like doing it half-heartedly, like, I don't know. I think she's kind of like, I don't really got anything for you. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine, and I'll just ask them myself.
That's just as well, you know, good idea, princess.
Okay, why is everyone calling me that? I'm not acting like a princess here. I don't think I'm acting like a little pretentious, naughty bitch. I think I'm actually I've been told I'm very, rough and tumble. I don't know why anyone would ever call me that. I find that very strange.
Yeah. I'll tell you, but what are you offering for it?
She's actually gonna think this time. This is Danica speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what I can. Like, I know I could think of some things that are very drastic.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of, like, little or middling things to offer that aren't that big a deal. I think of, like, horrible things, too big things.
Well, if you don't know what you can offer, you can always ask.
Like what? I'll say to him.
Might I have a word?
Depends on the word. What word do you want?
Whichever one I think of at the time that you agree to it.
Is it the word forever, or just the word for one time?
I don't want to take it forever. I'll let you in on a little tip here, so that your ability to negotiate is perhaps coming from a more informed place.
Really stupid. Please spell it out.
Right, yeah, so your little friends that you're with.
Yeah.
Two of them are very mundane. They don't know any better, and I'm not necessarily in a position... It doesn't benefit me to extort them, and so I don't. But when dealing with royalty, it is very much in my favor, and perhaps to the benefit of any other Fae being, to make sure that what is given can be matched.
Just as confused as before, friend. That was a horrible explanation, but I will give it to you.
Your royalty, you don't get a free pass. And neither does your other friend.
See, I'm still confused why you're saying that. And you've offered to tell me if I give you something. That ultimately makes this all the more confusing.
Why don't you give me your name?
Give you my name?
It's an easy one. You can pick a new one. I mean, really, the amount of names you could choose from, more names than there are leaves on a tree. What's in a name anyway?
I mean, that kind of makes sense to me. You know,
Is that even your real name?
I just gave myself the name.
Exactly. So just give it to me.
No, that's actually somewhat reasonable. Because very few people know my name. Anyways, so what's the big deal, I guess? I feel like you'll take... this is weird. Maybe I should. I don't know. Can I think of a better name than the one I gave myself? The reason I gave it to myself was because I have white wings, but I'm kind of like, they're broken. So what's the point of them?
You could give yourself a new name if you wanted to. I don't want to be responsible for that in the slightest, but what you do after you leave this glade is not my business.
Oh, wow. This is...
A name for history on Dove in general. A name for memories? A name for an explanation?
Yeah. What exactly are you giving me if I give you my name?
What are you wanting to know? Why everyone calls you princess?
Yeah. And like context. Context. No? Context?
Yes, I could tell you all of that, but it would also be more fun to watch you find it out yourself.
Alright, then you don't get...
I can explain a little bit. You can keep your name. Why don't you just give me a word?
Alright, I'll give you a word.
Yeah, we'll start small.
Start small-ish. Yeah, just don't make it like the name of my friends. If that's the only stipulation we got, don't make it the name of my friends. I won't be able to say my friends' names.
Alright.
I'm putting that in there.
Fine. Shake on it. He spits into his hand and holds it out.
Oh.
Take a solid 10 seconds to gurgle and make sure it's nice and snotty. And she's gonna sit that in your hand and she'll be like, oh.
He will happily clasp hands with you and shake. So, from this point forward, you can no longer say the word or even think of the word tree. You know what they are. You cannot describe them. You don't know the name for them.
I say that word all the time.
Yeah. So you don't know the name for them. You don't know how to explain them. Even the concept of them has suddenly become extremely abstract in your mind.
The concept of a tree?
Yes.
I can look at it and know it's there.
You can look at it and acknowledge its presence, but trying to name it or categorize it is now extremely difficult.
Okay.
Stop listening.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not technically a tree anymore.
Well, that should be a fun one for you to figure out later. I'll be... How about this? I will retroactively add a stipulation that if you do a favor for me, I'll give your word back. Later on. I'll let you know when I need a favor.
I'll take it. What the fucking word you took, but maybe I'll want it back.
Mm-hmm. Right, so... Ask a question. I'll give you what I can.
Why?
Yeah, think real hard on it. I see those little wheels turning in your little head.
They're little. Okay, let him work. Give me a minute.
Totally
I'm sorry.
fine. Here, let me give you a little bit of a soundtrack. And he'll start playing, like, I think it's, like, the waiting music on, like... Is it, like, Wheel of Fortune where it's, like, do-do-do-do-do?
Jeopardy music.
Yeah, he starts playing that on his fiddle.
What was I think?
Make it a good one.
I feel like if deals were actually happening like this, it would take people an eternity to actually think of the wording on what they'd say. This would take so long. Who am I?
What was that?
Who am I? I think she actually gets a little vulnerable.
Who are you? Well, you see, there's sort of like a lot of ways you could answer that, because you are a lot of people all at once. You are whoever you decide to be. But do you mean, like, historically? Is that kind of... Everything? Well, I mean... I'm not going to look into your future for you.
It's fine.
That's the sort of deal that you need to give a lot more for it to
I'm sure that's
give
your
that.
like that's your day job, you know. You don't have to do that. Just, you know, pass.
Not really a day job, just sort of a thing that I do when I'm bored. As for who you are, have you heard the story of the Uncourt?
The Uncourt? No. That
You wouldn't have. They've been erased from existence. What was that?
okay? What about him? About this erased court?
You were a budding archfey of the Uncourt. A child of the Uncourt, destined to one day rule. Oh, are you saying something right now?
What does that even mean? Archfey, an Uncourt, an anything. What does that mean?
An archfey. Also hard to define. Basically, the best way to describe it for your mind to understand it, since you've been... You're very backed up here. But basically, a being, a god, an entity of great power within the Feywild. Somebody who bears enough power, be that life energy, emotional energy, they get a little bit weird, a concept, that they are able to exert influence over an entire domain. We call it domains of delight. Some of them are real small, some of them, like Zygonas, pretty big, but can't really talk about what's happening where you actually are. But you were a child of the Uncourt. And you were destined to lead them in a sense.
It just seems... How do I know your name? How do you know this? Like, this thing that was erased. How do you even know it? Who are you? I know you gave Dawn some powers. That's pretty cool.
It is,
But who are you?
It kind of wounds me that you don't remember me.
I remember you. I was a kid.
Explain the memory.
Yeah?
What is the memory that you have of me when you were a child?
I scraped my knee, and I was with Dawn as a kid, and you helped him heal my knee. And it got all flowery, and Dawn showed him he had powers.
That's the first time that we met?
I mean, are you trying to tell me that you knew me when I was a baby? I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Alright. I'll give you this one for free, because your little face has just always been so cute, even since you were a wee babe. And I'm going to put this on the tab of the people who made you. Number one, don't be very careful about who you speak to about the Uncourt. You should not name them in the presence of anybody who you know to have loyalty to the Summer Queen or the Queen of Air and Darkness. I mean, unless you don't value your life. Second of all, I can't actually tell you about the Uncourt. See, the funny thing about the Feywild is that sometimes people get sometimes magical things happen that goes beyond just like ending a life or getting rid of somebody. Sometimes their entire idea, the thought of them, their names, everything about them is effectively erased. Almost. And luckily you're dealing with me. And I'm different. I'm built different. But I knew your parents. We were quite good friends. I was there when you were born.
Sorry. I'm very overwhelmed right now. I did not think I had any parents. And you're trying to tell me that you're friends with these people? Where are these people?
Don't know.
Oh. Then are you like my uncle or something?
No. We're not related. No.
Well, I mean, you tell me all this information about my apparent family, and it seems like you were there when I was born, so you gotta be like my godfather or something, right?
Not at all, no. Just a very dear family friend.
Dear. I'm just gonna make you my honorary uncle.
I do not accept that title, but...
That's because I know it's gonna annoy you, and that's gonna be great.
I'm not your uncle.
Okay, uncle.
Don't. That makes me feel old. I don't like that.
Look, I'm super confused right now. My brain's like overwhelmed, and I just want to know, what was my name when I was born then? Prove that to me. If you knew me so well.
Can't tell you your name, because although I can remember you, I can remember your parents, and I can remember the Uncourt, their likenesses, their personality traits, their true names. Ground to dust and scattered on the wind.
By who?
I've already told you that.
Summer Queen and the Queen of Air and Darkness?
Didn't hear it from me.
I went to bed, get some rest, and I feel like I just ran a marathon.
I know, that's one of the lovely benefits of being... When you go back and forth, you kind of become more pliable, more susceptible to intrusions. That's why I can't go visit the one I actually want to speak with. His mind is like a steel bear trap.
Dawn.
Completely closed off. He's sleeping like a babe right now.
What did you want to say to him?
I already told one of your other friends.
Oh. Okay.
You see, I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of Don. And if this message comes from two of you instead of one, he's going to feel extremely targeted and put on the spot by it. And it's already not going to be received well, like, at all.
Oh, okay. Well,
But-
you know him well, I guess.
Yeah, you got a lot of information swirling around in that head of yours. Your other friend, I dropped the bomb on her and she didn't even realize it, so I kind of just, like, brushed it off and then was like, hey, can you give Dawn a message?
Huh.
So I think she'll be, a better messenger for Dawn. If she even remembers.
Okay, right, Uncle, if you say so. Here's the thing. What's your name? Who are you?
I told you can call me Sam.
But Uncle Sam just doesn't sound great.
You're right, it really doesn't, but...
Don't like that. Godfather Sam? I'll call you Godfather Sam.
Don't, I'm not your godfather.
Can't be my goddaddy?
Oh, that's even worse. That's so much
I
worse.
I would love
Well, is it worse? I'll noodle on that one. Here's the thing. So, if you ever recover your true name, you shouldn't just give it out willy-nilly. In fact, giving out what you call yourself now, that's effectively your true name at this point. You should also be careful about giving that one out.
you were about to take that.
Mhm.
Are you just saying you knew I watch out for you?
I'm sorry, what was that?
So you saying I just need to watch out for you? 'Cause you're about
I
to
never said I was good.
Okay, well, I hope you weren't lying to me about any of this, Granddaddy.
I'm not your granddaddy either.
See that?
The way it works, it's not, where you spent time on the material plane, that was just a fraction of your lifespan. But I know it feels like it's been everything. And I know that when you're there, people can say things and go back on them. It does not work like that here. You asked me for this information and you traded for it. I'm magically bound to respect that. Even more so when you're in Zybilna's domain. She's a stickler for the rules, even when she's not around.
Last question then. How old am I?
How old are you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, time here and time in the material plane, there's not a one-to-one. Sometimes one goes a lot faster than the other. Sometimes it's slower. Sometimes they're the same. If I had to measure, the last time I visited the material plane before you were born, I want to say it was about 10,000 years? You have to understand that in the Feywild could feel like just a few years. And your body was really only on the material plane for what are you, like in your 20s?
Yeah.
So you're that age.
Oh, okay. That's good. I'm glad I'm not 10,000. That'd be really shitty.
I mean, you look very good for someone who's 10,020.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have been able to remember any of it. That would have been so sad. Just so sad. That's weird to just remember.
I mean, if you want to remember those things, then by all means, go ahead and recover them.
Yeah. I think that this weird little world and you and a freaking carousel at my job all tried to tell me this, and it seems like there's some things I'm not remembering that I'm supposed to find somewhere, which is really annoying. But that's
Quite close.
okay.
In fact, you haven't been this close to recovering them since before you lost them.
So the closest I've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. A lot. Thank you, Godfather Sam. I am very overwhelmed.
Don't call me Godfather.
Okay. Uncle.
Alright, you know what? And
Yeah.
he flicks you on the nose.
Ow.
And you go, like, flying backwards through these tall things that you have no idea what they are. And you just see like colors and shapes passing by you, and you don't know what they are, and then you are very suddenly like jolted awake. And you know how like on your face you can kind of see your nose in the middle?
Yeah.
It looks a lot bigger.
Rude! I'm gonna like feel it. What happened?
You can see that there's a little red mushroom that has sprouted from the spot where he flicked your nose.
It's kind of cute.
Like it's like 3 inches long.
I'm gonna go look around and see if anyone else is awake.
Yeah, so actually, like, around the same time, well, roll a perception check for me.
That is an 18.
So, Mr. Stump, kind of hard to tell. He said he doesn't sleep, but he's just sitting there being a stump, which you know what a stump is, but you have no idea what he is a stump of. Like the hole that he is a part of, you're like, what? You have no clue.
This place is so creepy.
Yeah, and then you can see, I believe, Ego was having a conversation with Mr. Stump, right? And then Clover had also woken up, but no, Clover was sleeping very like restlessly. So she's up in a tree. I believe Clover went up into a tree and is like kind of tossing and turning in the spot where she's like on this big like bough. But Ego was awake. Is Ego still awake now?
Ego has fallen back asleep against Mr. Stump.
Okay, so Ego has moved from the tent and is sleeping against this stump. Dawn is passed the fuck out, like snoring.
Yeah,
like,
he's snoring like obnoxiously loud.
Like, yeah. And Clover is like tossing and turning.
Tossing and turning. Oh, but the person I know that knows the most about, at least, I'm gonna go over to Ego and the stump. I want to just push both of them and be like, hey! I'm gonna push them both awake.
Hi.
Oh, shit. Oh, hi.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here. I can't really move. Ego fell asleep, or not Ego, Mushroom Hat fell asleep.
My apologies, Mr. Stump.
Ego.
The darkness consumed me. Yes.
Is a mushroom?
Wow. That's a pretty sizable mushroom.
Good for you.
I don't want it there. The annoying Sam guy. The satyr that was looking around for Dawn at the theater. He put it on my nose in my dream, and I really don't want it anymore. I have a mushroom hat. You must know about mushrooms. Please take it off.
I know some things about mushrooms. But this sand person gets around.
He said
Have you
he knows.
tried pulling on it?
No, I'm a little scared.
Mushrooms are not very strong.
That's
They
true.
mostly fight a battle of persistence that will inevitably defeat us all.
Oh, that does not sound great on my nose. I'm just gonna gently just try to pull it off. You're muted.
If you pull on it like gently and like it's like when you have a band-aid on your arm and if you try to pull it gently, like you can feel that there's resistance and that, but you need to give it you feel like you would need to pull it a little harder to get it off.
I'm gonna rip it off. I'm just gonna straight up rip it off.
It comes off. It kind of hurts. It's like ripping off a band-aid, but it comes off.
I scream way too loud, like unnecessarily loud. I feel like I probably wake everyone else up, but I'm like, oh.
Whoa. What happened?
Okay. I didn't rip my whole nose off. Okay. Do you want
Very
this?
good.
Ego, do you want it?
Yes.
I thought so. Give it to you.
I put it in my random little wet bag that's probably made of like some kind of animal bladder.
What? Animal bladder bag.
You're very interesting people.
Thank you, Mr. Stump.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Stump. You're an interesting stump. Really. The most interesting stump I've ever met.
Well, thanks. I try.
Don pokes his head out of the tent. Why? Who is being that loud?
I point a root too.
Just call her out. Like, that was me.
Honesty is a virtue.
Look, Dawn, I'm gonna like run over to Dawn and be like, look, there was the guy that was looking for you in the clown suit at the fair. And his name was Sam, and I think he's my godfather, but he was looking for you in my dream. But he also said that he went to their dreams. I'm gonna point at the other people's parties.
You see Clover like looking over the bough of the tree, just looking down, and like as Dove is talking, her eyes are getting wider and wider.
Then he said that he got into their dreams, and that he said that he tried to get into your dream, and that you were like, steel trap, no way, man, not coming in. And he was mad about it because he wanted to go talk to you. And I was like, what do you want to say? And he said, I already told someone. And I was like, oh, okay. But someone else here knows something that he's trying to tell you. Put a mushroom on my nose because I called him my god uncle because he told me a bunch of info. I'm just gonna go off. I'm gonna say everything that he and everyone and stuff.
He like sits there, probably in the middle of you like going off. He like slinks back into the tent and lays back down and closes his eyes again.
Hey! I'm gonna be like, come on, Don, you can't just hide from this man. Something is going on with this singer guy. And you.
I cannot get an hour of normalcy. No. Yeah, I saw it on your face. Yes?
I don't remember what he wanted me to tell you, but I was supposed to tell you something from Sam too. I dreamed of him too. But I can't really remember what I was supposed to tell you. But I think it was important.
I don't know why you would say that to me when you don't know what you're supposed to tell
I
me.
think he wants to talk to you. That's maybe you guys should talk because it sounded important.
It did.
He
said
kind of
that-
like holds his hands out like. I don't know what you're expecting me to do. Like,
You gotta go to sleep. You gotta go to sleep.
I was
Yeah.
just sleeping. If that's how he talks to me, then he obviously didn't want to.
He said he did, but that he couldn't get in. That your mind was too blocked. It was too.
Maybe you have to let him in.
He blinks slowly. I didn't know I was keeping anybody out. I was sleeping.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I don't know how this works either.
I dreamt about doing taxes.
Oh.
Oh God. That's why he couldn't come in. Sure, you got taxes.
You don't even know what taxes are.
No, I don't, but they sound boring. And that's all I need to know.
Whatever.
They sound like some pieces of paper. They sound like little details.
It's in the word. They're taxing.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Exactly. What Ego said.
Question out of character. Did Dove tell us the uncourt princess info, or did Dove keep that to herself? In the rambling.
Good question. Said be careful with that information, but I feel like she does trust her party members because these are the only friends she's ever had. So I think she's gonna say that too.
Murders you on the spot.
I'm still here. No.
So you do tell the party?
I do.
Okay.
Because it doesn't make sense to me. And I think
Would
it's kind of still pretty fake sounding.
Would I hear this information?
Yes, you would. Well, are you trying to keep Mr. Stump from hearing this information? I'll give you that.
That's a good question. Let me roll for it. Roll. See how either to the chest I feel or not. Or bad. That's good. How careful I am.
From a vaguely defined object.
Oh, I got a 10, which is perfectly in the middle. Would you count that as low or high?
Probably low, so it's like 1 through 10 and then 11 through 20.
Yeah, okay. And I think I'm gonna say it out loud.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Mr. Stump, you hear it. You have no idea what she's talking about.
I know, but now I think some random guy was coming into my grove and talking to people while they were sleeping, and I didn't even see it, like, at all.
So...
Yeah, it's weird. It's probably fake. I don't know. I think it's weird.
But what if it's not fake? Dove, you don't remember, but you were looking for your parents.
Oh.
Maybe it's not fake. Maybe that's why no one. That's why no one knows. If the memory of it is gone, maybe. I mean, we all have had fuzzy memories for a while. What if it was like way more strong on your family? Like everybody.
Feels like it'd be too good to be true. So I'm just gonna...
Why would it be too good to be true? That sounds awful.
I mean, I guess like losing a family sounds better than never having one.
But you had one.
Maybe.
You definitely had one. At least when you were little, you had one.
I'm glad I did. I'd rather, if I did, I don't know if this is real, but if it is, then it does feel like it'd be too good to be true because the fact that I had one feels like more a miracle than never having had a family ever. So I guess I don't know. I'm just gonna roll with the punches. Just gonna go with the wind through the tree pillars.
I think what the person.
Hold on, you don't know.
told
You
is
can't
true.
say. You can't say the word.
Even tree pillars, or
No,
sorry, not
you-
tree pillars. Wood pillars is what she meant. Good catch.
I think
Yeah.
your whole story is true. I think what they said was true too. I think you should believe it because they were following the rules of you gave them something. They had to follow the rules and tell you the truth.
That's true.
It can't be a lie, or that's not following the rules, and the rules are important.
Yeah, that's what he said too. The rules are really important.
Did you tell them that you gave something?
I did.
You gave them a word.
Yeah, I told them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what word?
Didn't tell me. But I could do a favor to get it back one day, though.
That's nice of him.
Donna just kind of squints in the background, like,
She's got you in a ladder.
right. Oh god, it's an MLM scheme.
Oh no!
Well, did you guys get visited in a dream? I look at Ego and Clover.
I did, but I'm having a hard time remembering it right now.
Yes, but he was rather rude.
I remember feeling like comforted, but also like not coddled, but like he wanted me to grow up.
No
That is a
comment.
very
What was that, Dawn?
He said no comment.
She like ruffles her like wings and kind of like flattens her ears.
It felt as if he was trying to drown me in my own demons. But I could
That is-
swim.
What?
very different from one another. What do
Yeah.
you mean, Ego?
He was mean?
What do you mean?
I mean what I say.
What did it look like?
Water.
He tried to drown you in water?
Drown me in my demons, that's what I said.
Your
I
demons
didn't
are
see
water?
You get drowned at all. I've been sitting here the whole time.
It was like... It's as if the words I'm saying are going right over your heads. I say what I mean what I say.
I think I get you. What were you seeing?
Water
Water.
and darkness.
And it felt like you were choking on water?
I couldn't breathe.
Hmm.
I was too enraptured within my own darkness.
That sounds scary.
Just sounds like every other thing that you say.
Well, it was mine, so I believe it should. I wasn't afraid. I was perhaps maybe a little bit annoyed.
Insight check.
What are you trying to intuit?
I believe that they weren't afraid, but I want to know, like, what if there are any other emotions that flicker on their face, or any emotions that flicker on their face.
Yep, roll an insight check. Ego, if you can choose, like, if you are deceiving to roll, and we can do a contested check.
Okay, I'm gonna do a roll. I'm gonna do a deception check.
Okay.
I don't think that's fair to say that's the full truth. My deception is a 17.
Yeah, so Ego is very, like, deadpan all the time. Like, she's very hard to read, like, on and like she's offered you all of this information, so you're just like I've never heard them even say like
Yeah.
give this you've been given a lot, and like a lot has been explained, so you don't necessarily think there's anything like missing or any emotion that's being like concealed there,
Gotcha. Okay.
or at least you can't pick up on it.
Really brave, Eagle. That sounds scary.
Yeah, that does sound really scary.
I wouldn't want any of you to go through it. I don't want to see you in a dark place like that. You shine too brightly.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to see you there either, Eagle.
yeah, you don't deserve to be there either.
That was incredibly rude of him.
Yeah.
Did he do that just to be a dick, or did he say something?
It sounded like it was my fault.
Okay.
I don't know.
What did he say
we-
that made you think that?
He was mostly crying. Hard to understand. I think he was having a rough night.
Oh.
He was playing the fiddle!
He was also playing the
Right.
fiddle when I remember the fiddle.
And he was just being snarky. And flicked my nose.
He was playing the fiddle, and then he started crying nigh uncontrollably.
He's not just out here.
Oh my god.
Gee. We're gonna be judging Sam forever now.
I don't think that you should blame him.
I'm very confused. And a little worried,
Yeah.
honestly.
No comment.
Yeah, you had a great sleep, sir. I'm gonna look at Dawn. Like,
I did, and it's just reminding me that I'm the only normal person here, and I can't escape from you guys' weirdness even when we all go unconscious.
If you're
Speaking
the
of,
only normal person here, aren't you the weird one?
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree with that statement. Yeah.
thank
You're
you,
a
Mr.
stump.
Stump.
Hey,
Yeah, but
I'm
what
part of the
is
weird crew. Okay.
normal?
He is a beautiful stump at that. You cannot defy. You
thanks.
cannot. You cannot try to say that. You know, that's just you're the weird one.
Okay. Anyway, speaking of weird things, are we going to like kill the brambles?
Oh, I
are
would
we just
love to
gonna
kill the brambles.
talk about how Sam was in everyone's dreams again?
I was
Yeah.
going to ask if everyone felt like they had enough rest.
Does it feel like we got a long rest? Okay.
Okay.
Even Dove? Okay.
I'm ready to take out some of
Yeah.
this.
You have
aggressive-
no indication of the passing of time. The lighting and weather and like environmental conditions around you are exactly the same as they were when you were asleep. The water levels are low again, but the sky is overcast gray, a little bit dark as if it's like a later hour, but not nighttime. You hear frogs croaking, birds squawking, crickets chirping, sludgy mud bubbling.
What a perfect day to kill some brambles.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Well, okay. So first,
Clover,
to
of
get
course,
out
you
of
don't
here,
have to.
you have to do another special ritual
Uh-oh.
to get back to where we
Oh
were.
my god.
I love these. I'm ready.
Well, just the humanoids. So to get out, you have to walk forwards, but say stump backwards. So you would say pmuts,
Pumuts.
pmuts for a minute straight, as you walk forward.
Months.
That's even dumber.
It's clever.
I didn't make the rules. You have to follow the rules.
Isn't it
Rules
your
are good.
house?
Well, I only rent.
You only read.
I mean, you're literally not. You're
That's the
not
funniest thing
inaccurate.
that's been said this whole time. That none of us understand taxes and money or anything, but then he's like, yeah, I rent.
And we're all like,
He's got the down payment and everything.
I don't own this place. You think I could make enough money for that?
Sure.
I'm gonna leave now. Pmuts.
Pmuts.
But
Pmuts.
Wait, hold on. Don't go too far. Pmuts. Pmuts.
Pmuts.
Pmuts.
Pmuts.
Pmuts.
Okay.
I do it right this time because I learned my lesson and I didn't like being alone.
Yeah, actually, while we're on the topic, just to like be sure, because I really didn't think that was gonna happen last time, but it did. Danica, can you please just give us like a little show? Like, Dove has this information that she has to now, after walking backwards and saying stump, to leave, she has to walk forward and say pmuts. So what does Dove do? Give us like a little show of that.
A little show.
Yeah. You don't have to stand up and walk, but just like RP out for me, because I just need to see what happens.
Wait, I
You
told her.
don't have to walk. You don't have to walk. You can just pantomime it.
Pmuts. Pmuts. Pmuts.
Okay, good. You so all of you after 1 minute, who's got leaves? Are you taking leaves? Okay. Yep. So your Dove, your speed is halved. A little bit more than halved to like lead leaves out, but
God, leaves is too much.
over the next minute you all walk forwards and say pmuts and nothing else. So after that minute you see the space between the trees or wood pillars, things, shapes around you, the space shortens like an accordion compressing, and very suddenly you feel as if like the two sides of a hallway have been pinched together. You walk through and then they lengthen again, because with just one more step you go from this forest clearing to being back by the tower. And once again, suddenly you find yourself looking up at this tower that's about 50 feet tall, with like a 30-foot cloud of brambles surrounding it. And you feel the mud squelching beneath your feet. Which actually, as a point of note, I think everybody's speed is halved while you have to walk through the mud. So you can all of you feel if you are walking, you can feel your feet like sucking into the mud, threatening to rip your shoes off. Or if your toes and hooves out, the same thing happens.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I imagine Leaves is able to like use their little weird body to like move on top of the mud.
Yeah, Leaves is enjoying, being they're just being a snail.
Don't want to leave them behind, but they're too freaking slow.
all right. So
What are we thinking?
yeah, what's the plan?
No
Anybody got
fire. That's part of the rules. No fire.
No fire?
I looked through my mother's book, and I think that I have a spell that might at least get things started.
Okay.
I would like to schlorp on up towards the brambles.
Okay.
Go get them.
You can do so.
Hello, brambles.
You can see that they have like very thick, tangled, like vines that are almost black. Like they're very dark brown with thick, sharp thorns all over them, and they're just like a tangled, gnarled mass.
You never bothered to learn my name. I would not give it to you. No. Today you die. Goodbye, Brambles. And I'm
Damn.
going to cast Tasha's Caustic Brew
Oh,
on as many of the brambles as I can.
Yay.
Ego retrieves a little teeny tiny mini witch's pot. It's like about the size of my hand. I actually have them at my studio, at my ceramic studio, but so it's like the little mini kind of black pot, and I say the classic double toil and trouble
Ooh.
rhyme
Mhm.
and cauldron bubble. And when it does, it spills over with acid and shoots in a 30-foot line through all the brambles I can, as many brambles as I can, and coats them in acid. I believe they technically get to make a dexterity saving throw. They are stationary brambles, so I'm assuming perhaps maybe that their dexterity is not very good.
Yeah. They roll with disadvantage and they have a really bad modifier. Yes, that's like 7.
They will fail.
Okay.
So they are covered in acid for up to a minute. At the start of each of their turns, they would take 2d4 acid damage. So over the course of a minute, that would be 20d4. Unless they are able to scrape or wash the acid off itself or another creature, which I don't know if they can do.
Okay. So, can you roll me the minute's worth of damage, please?
All
That's
20d4. Here we
That's
go.
a lot of. Well, you can just roll like a couple of them at a time, and we'll just
Sure.
see if you get somewhere.
Sure.
I mean,
All right.
technically, well, okay.
The
Actually,
first one was 7. That was a 3 and a 4.
yeah.
You want me to keep going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Second one is a 1 and a 2, so 3. Total of 10. Acid.
Okay. Yes.
Third turn, 2 2s, so total of 14.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth, 6, so a total of 20.
Okay. So after about what feels to be about like a little less than half a minute, you watch as this acid like very quickly begins to just like burn and melt away these brambles, and none of you hear them talk or see them do anything. Mr. Stump, you know that these are not like, they're not like awakened.
Yeah.
You like, they just kind of showed up. So you see, they can't like, you don't know how they move. They just kind of showed up, but you hear them like screaming. They're like, "Oh my god, it's burning, Jessica! No! Oh my god! I can't believe the mushroom went! Ah!" And they're all just like, "Help me! I'm melting!"
Yes!
Kill them all. Kill all of the brambles.
Yeah, and after what feels for the like the humanoids of this group, it feels to be about like 24 seconds, there is a clear path to this tower through these brambles. The whole like mass of brambles is still like around, but you do have that 5-foot wide, 30-foot long path that goes straight to the door of Slanty Tower.
I look over my shoulder.
Clap some roots.
Good show!
They were screaming as they died.
oh,
That is.
oh.
I'm not going to comment on that.
No,
Her,
it was
her ears
great.
flatten again, like, oh.
It was great. Don't be sad. It was good. I hated those brambles.
Wow.
I think I was trying not to laugh.
Oh my god.
They made
Maybe
fun
we're
of
the
my
bad
hat.
guys.
Are the currently living brambles still saying things?
They're like crying and just like, because the brambles are not like, they're not like each neatly occupying like a row. They're
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah, it's natural.
Yeah, they're all tangled up together, and like you're not even sure if there are like multiple personalities here or if it's just one like singular bramble bush that has like multiple voices, but they're like crying and like swearing revenge against the ones who melted Jessica.
The
And
image. Oh my god.
yeah, they're like we need to leave, like we need to get out of here. Oh my god, like I can't believe these people, their vibes are fucking disgusting. They just like bring acid around when we're literally just sitting here, like
Oh
not
my
even
God.
doing anything. Oh my god, like listen, when they walk by, somebody should just like stick a root out and trip them, and maybe they'll fall and then we can just like poke them to death. And then they're just like mourning Jessica.
Oh, not Jessica.
Jessica was apparently the fave.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was the
Heathers.
meanest girl.
Yeah. Yep. I think
It's
Ego's
Regina
earned the red
George.
scrunchie.
Oh my god.
I think
The
you
image
just
of a little stump, like super, like the visual to me of a stump, like zooming in on the stump that's like taking glee from like screaming, crying plants, like mourning revenge, and then cutting away to us four, and we don't hear any of it. We're just like, nice.
Nice.
It just makes me think about how people really like the smell of fresh cut grass, but that's
Oh.
actually like
Oh no.
the chemical release of grass screaming.
Oh no.
So Ego is looking back to make sure, like, are we going in? Like, shall we go towards the tower?
Yeah, I mean,
I think
there was that weird guy in there that
we gotta save night. Sure.
Well, please come.
I'll
Yeah.
raise a high five for Phil as they go by.
You like hold your hand up for a high five.
Uh-huh.
Are you going to hit me?
No, I'm gonna wait because I know that you're.
No, Ego asks, are you going to hit me?
Oh, no, dude. I'm gonna like gently grab your wrist and go like that with your slap your hand. High five. Means good job.
Oh,
That's cool.
high five.
High five. Yeah.
No, like they say high five because you said high five. It means good job.
Oh
So
no,
they go
no, no.
high five.
This thing we do. It's we're like
You
we're
slap.
raising our 5 fingers high and we're slapping them. Like it's a sign of good job. That's
seen that before.
High five.
The thing.
Yes, high five.
High five.
No,
Okay.
look at the elbow, and then that's gonna make the high five super amazing. Like, it's gonna be stupid.
I smack you as hard as possible.
Oh no.
Holy crap! All right.
I have -2 strength.
No, I have -1 strength, so it's perfect.
So it's the animators draw it with all the intense lines, and it's like
Like delicate wrist. Nice.
like two flowers gently flapping against each other. High five. Okay.
Fine. I'll just do it. I'll just keep doing it because I know Ego's probably. This is no novel.
I think as we get closer to the tower, just like remembering some of the dream of like going on instinct, she like instinctually feels the need to like protect herself, and mage armor appears at will.
Have you told us what mage armor looks like?
I have not.
Why don't you tell us what it looks like when you cast that?
So I feel like because it's such a reactionary, like I know it's an action, but like for her it feels reactionary. Her eyes like get like super not dilated, the opposite, like is it dilated?
They get constricted.
Constricted. They get really constricted into like cat eye slits. And then her wings like flutter, and kind of like the holographic opalescent colors of her wings, like the rainbow sparkles of the sun, kind of like form like a small like fairy dusting of like pixie dust over her skin, and then like her outfit starts to glow in like the holographic like iridescent colors.
Oh my god, I just got a rare card.
Yeah, it's a shiny card.
That's cool. That's a cool
I
description.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give me the glitter.
So,
But it's
as we
hollow
pass-
taco glitter. It's like the good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we pass through these brambles and approach the crumbling exterior of this tower that has these brambles just like clinging onto it everywhere except for the door, we will take a quick break
Okay.
and come back after like 5 minutes.
Yeah, BRB fam. See you soon. Welcome back. Now
Hi.
we are.
Okay, now we're back.
We're safe. We're okay.
Welcome. Let's jump right back into it. So, part of the brambles were just dissolved in acid. There is a way, and you have approached the crumbling exterior of Slanty Tower. What are you doing?
What are we doing?
So, multiple things have happened in this tower. Like, we've seen, like, someone on the balloon get, like, pulled in.
Yeah, so first you guys, when you were up on top of that, like, raised, like, aqueduct highway, like, path thing, you saw, as you were coming down, you saw a, like, hot air balloon crash into the tower. So you came to the tower. When Clover flew up there, she encountered a being in a cage who I cannot show you this picture until your characters meet them. Encountered this person up there who was like trapped, and when she tried to talk to them, a dark shape like darted out of a window, like opened the shutter, pulled this person in, and then closed the shutter. You know from Mr. Stump that he has seen like rabbit folk try to go in only to like run back out. Yeah.
And my friend lives here.
Oh yes, and Mr. Stump's friend Elmer, who Danica, for your knowledge, was described by Mr. Stump as the groundskeeper, like a very nice guy. Who was friendly to Mr. Stump and would come and visit him, was the groundskeeper for this area. Lives in there. His name is Elmer, and he has a dog, Wover. And Mr. Stump has not seen Elmer or Wover in some time.
I would like to be reminded whether or not there is a door at the base, correct?
There is, yes.
And I would just like to remember, doesn't one of us have a thing about knocking on doors?
Me. I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Ego, because I bring that up because Ego would ask when we come up to it, do we know if it's even worth knocking?
Why should we?
I kind of have to.
It's polite.
Yes.
It's the right thing to do.
If there's weird shit going on in the tower, do we really want to draw attention to the fact that we're going in the tower?
I don't know.
I trust my friends, and my friends live in this tower, so...
Yeah,
Yes.
but you know what else showed up around the tower that your friends haven't taken care of?
The brambles. That's true. I hate the brambles.
So, as a reminder for you, Mr. Stump, the reason that you've been trying to come around, you were unsuccessful in getting in to say hi to your friend because of the brambles, but you did notice that like the brambles have been cleared from the door.
Yes.
So that's why you've kept trying to visit.
Yeah, he keeps clearing these brambles right here at the door.
But nowhere else?
That's a lot of brambles.
Are you sure it's him clearing the brambles?
He's the only one that would clear the brambles. I don't think Wover could do it.
That's not what I was trying to insinuate, but you know what? That's fine.
Well, the only two people in this tower are Wover and Elmer. And Elmer's the one that cuts things, and Wover's just a dog.
I would say, even knowing what we know, we are not necessarily here looking for any sort of trouble. We just sort of wanted some information, help get our bearings. I would say it wouldn't hurt to knock. I mean, I suppose it could hurt. There could be some loose piece of wood and then it impales into your hand. But in the general sense, best to not break in and start off on the wrong foot, especially if you step inside and then there's a loose nail and it goes through your foot.
I'm gonna start to hover and not have my feet on the ground.
Specific. But not a bad idea, Ego. I feel like either way, knock or no knock, we'll deal with the problem.
If there is one.
If there is one, exactly.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right.
I'm moving some tokens.
Unless
And-
anyone has anything, I'll walk up and knock.
You knock?
Unless anyone's gonna stop me, I'll
I
go
think
up.
Clover knocks with you at the same time because she has to knock.
Oh, that's right. It's not that
I
you
knocked
can't
3
knock,
times.
it's that you must knock.
I must knock.
Don't let-
I knocked 3 times.
Yeah, if Dove opens the door, she has to knock.
I'll
first
knock
before
on
she
the
can
open door. I have to. I can't go through the
No, I'm gonna let
threshold
Clover
without
do it.
knocking.
I don't know why I thought it was that you couldn't, but it's right. You have to knock before you enter.
Because the rest of us can't do things, but she must do something.
Must. Okay, then I'm gonna let Clover do that.
I knocked 3 times.
Okay. Hold on, I'm copying you guys over to this other page.
Battle map where we fucking die.
You knock. You hear the sound of your knuckles rapping against very warped, swollen wood that has clearly seen better days thanks to the wear and tear of the swamp. No response.
Hello?
Mr. Stump, we might need to have to let ourselves in.
Just be careful. This wooden door is very special.
What do you
I'm
mean?
sure. I have no idea. Every wooden door has its story.
Can I try to see if the door's unlocked? Like, can I just try? I'm not opening it. I just want to try the handle to see if it's
Try the
like-
door.
Yeah.
It's unlocked.
It's unlocked.
Oh, he must have knew we were coming. That's great.
Is it a push or pull? I do
It's
both.
push.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold Clover's shoulder before she pushes it. Let me just look at something. Let me look at this. I want to check for trap.
I will step back. She tells me to wait.
Just want to check that it's not. I'm not a rogue or anything. I just want to check that are there any obvious contraptions attached to this door? Like if I look at it, around it, or just peek inside.
Yeah, so for that one you can roll an investigation check.
Really stupid, but
We love it. We love our bimbo.
11. 11.
7?
11.
11. You kind of pat around the edges of the door. You look under the doorknob and around the edges for any sort of mechanism. Doesn't seem trapped.
It could be too safe. I just am worried that something's gonna fall on Clover, so I'm just gonna push the door open.
That'd be kind of funny.
Okay. Yeah, you push the door open. It does creak. And you can see... Are you entering, or...
Can you take a look before I walk in?
Mhm. Yeah, so, immediately the first thing that you notice is that, the floor of this round room tilts down sharply to the left, which makes sense because the entire tower slants.
Tilted tower.
And from your perspective, you can see that almost everything in this room has fallen into a heap on that low side, which is almost pretty much directly across from you, but also off to this. You can see the pile continues, but it cuts off from the door frame. It's on the far opposite side. You can see that there are pipes jutting out of the walls and down from the ceiling. Some of them travel straight through the floor. Affixed overhead to the piping that comes off of the spiral staircase is a little bell-shaped piece and off of that dangles a thin chain. Supplies are like littered along the periphery of this room, and you see what appear to be two long wooden stilts. You also notice in the middle of the room, a few barrels of carrots are stationed prominently, tied to one of the pipes that goes from ceiling to floor to secure them in place.
Carrots, a bell, a spiral staircase, pipes. Interesting. I guess I'm gonna walk over to the carrots.
Okay.
I'm gonna flutter in and try and just
Bing bong.
listen.
Okay,
I can
so
hear the
you guys
little-
are you guys like on the map now? Can you like
I
see
think
this?
so, yeah?
Yep.
Yep.
On...
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, yes! Wow!
Yes!
Map!
Map.
On the map.
Yeah, so you guys can just like you can see like the grid, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just place yourselves.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be there.
Okay. Is anyone doing anything as you're like walking in?
I would
You
like
said
to try and listen for signs of the little guy I'm trying to find.
okay. Anyone else doing anything?
I'll go and look over at the stuff that sort of fell on the heap on the other side of the room.
Okay.
I will. I guess I'm just sort of looking around at the pipes and everything and trying to like just sort of get what kind of person maybe lives here.
I want to
Okay.
see what's coming out of the pipes. If anything does come out of the pipes, what it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so are you going to the carrots or are you going to the pipe stuff?
I'm gonna, I'll see it. I'll let Ego do the pipes. I'll stay at the carrots.
Okay, so for ego, you can roll either an insight check or an investigation check. For Clover, roll a perception check. And hold on to these numbers for a second. Dawn, you said you were going to look at the pile of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So. Give me 1 second. I have to look at something. So, Dove, you approach this barrel of carrots, and Dawn, you're like kind of like crossing, like you're kind of walking up with her and then going past, because that's basically like the direct path you would have to take to get to the piles of stuff that have fallen from the tower slanting. I need both of you to roll me dexterity saving throws.
Woo! Let's do it. Waiting.
Oh, fuck.
10.
10.
Nothing
Not good. 9.
Okay. So, as you both walk into this space that Dove is in particular, Dove, you go to approach this barrel of carrots that are so nicely, like, positioned here and tied up to this pipe. It's, like, very strange. What you don't notice as you're, like, looking at these carrots is that a very expertly laid tripwire had been set by the barrel of carrots.
Amazing.
And you do have a decent passive perception, but it was not enough to pick up this trap. So you notice your foot setting off the trap like as it's happening, and it's too late for you to stop. There's a pipe that comes like from the ceiling and ends overhead in this space. And as this tripwire sets off, you hear like the rattle of liquid in this pipe, and very suddenly this dark, like greenish black sludge like pours out over the two of you. You both take 4 points of acid damage.
Ow.
And the smell is overwhelming. It's like a nauseatingly sweet odor that you are suddenly like suffused with. And this entire space, I need to get to the GM layer. And like this entire space here becomes filled with this reeking acid.
Good thing I'm
Oh.
flying.
Yeah, Clover, you're flying, so you are not like there's a little bit of like a splash, but it doesn't
Okay.
quite get you. And it pools like next to the door and begins to like pour out of the door. Oh no, it wouldn't. It would go down the other way. It goes down to this over here. There's like a little grate in the ground,
Oh.
and it like pours like from this area over there. But you guys
Black
are covered.
ichor descends on us.
Yeah, and like your skin is like tingling as it like this like
Ew.
sludge slides off of you, and the two of you stink.
Are you guys okay?
Are you free of corruption?
Ugh. Ew.
So, thanks for checking for traps, Dove.
You know, it's my bad. I checked the door. I didn't think about why there were carrots right in the middle for the rabbit folk assholes, probably. I'm gonna prestidigitate myself clean, and I'll prestidigitate the same for Dawn. Sorry.
Yeah. You're able to flick off the remnants of this acidic sludge, and with your magic, cast it off into the drain at the other end of the room. But yeah, this room around you is brightly lit with the environmental light from outdoors through two large windows that are on either side of the door. Ego,
Yes.
what did you roll?
I rolled a 14 on an investigation check of the pipes.
Yeah, so you go over to this bell-shaped object that is hanging from like a slender pipe with a delicate chain attached to it. And looking at the floor around you, you can tell that like the wood beneath your feet and underneath this spot in particular has been repeatedly exposed to water. Ego doesn't necessarily know what a shower is, but you get the feeling
That's a
that
good description.
this bell is designed to pour water over you.
Oh.
As for the pipe, let's see. Yep, so you get the sense that if you like pull this chain, you could probably make like water like come and like
Pour on
clean
you.
yourself or the floor. Yeah.
Interesting. I would ask Mr. Stump if his friend is because I know that they're a groundskeeper, but would you describe your friend as a particularly cleanly person? A neat freak?
I don't know if I would say neat freak, but I think they are pretty cleanly. Yeah, I think they clean up very well. They used to cut all the brambles and also, give me a nice trim when I needed one.
All right, well then, this device, this interesting and fascinating contraption, seems that it can create water to pour on oneself, possibly cleansing of toxins.
A shower?
I suppose the rain could shower down upon them.
No. It's called a shower.
Just no.
As in the fascinating contraption. We call them showers.
Then he has a shower.
It is a shower.
Clover, can you remind me what you were listening for Mr. Talavar?
Mm-hmm.
What did you roll?
12.
It's very
Oh,
quiet.
wait.
Oh,
I have a D6. I haven't used it yet.
Oh, I should have used my... Gotta remember that.
That's a 17 total. I don't know if that helps.
It's even more quiet.
It's even more.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
you listen out, and you're like looking around, and you do notice that other than the sounds that your friends are making as they walk around and investigate the space, it is very quiet. You're not picking up anything coming from another floor, but as you're kind of like aimlessly looking around in the space, you happen to glance back at the door and the windows that are beside it, and you notice that those windows are covered with spider webs.
Does it feel like it's been, like, undisturbed for a really long time?
Roll an intelligence check.
Smart. 12?
No. There is not a collection of dust.
But it's just spider webs.
Yeah, there's the pile of junk that's in the far corner. But like, you know, you're not seeing like dust motes floating around in the space. The door itself is not like dusty or rusty. You're not getting that indication.
Is it just the front windows that are covered in spider webs, or is it every window?
Yeah, and looking at it more closely, like with that intelligence check, you realize now that those spider webs block anybody from like looking in from the outside.
Oh.
Deliberately placed spider webs.
Dawn, you said you were going over to look at the junk pile.
Mm-hmm.
So after getting assaulted with acid,
Yep.
you head over to this pile and you can see that there are like various like pipes of various sizes and shapes that are in a pile on the ground here. Various tools for like handiwork, like hammers and wrenches, shovels, a variety of things like that. The one thing that catches your eye that you find very strange is, and you recognize it because you saw them at the carnival, is a pair of stilts. But they're a little bit different than the stilts that you saw at the carnival. The stilts at the carnival, the clowns that were wearing them, like their feet were strapped in at the top, and you see that same shape, but then these stilts also then extend and have handles at the top of them. And they're long. They're like, the whole piece is like probably 10 feet long.
There's stilts over here.
Vic, may I go up to the window where I last saw?
So that's at the top of the tower.
Oh.
Are you going all the way up?
Can I look up? Like, is it an open space, or is it like...
Nope, the stairs, like, go up, but other than the opening for the stairs in the ceiling, like, it's closed off.
We'll have to take it floor by floor.
Yeah, I think Clover wants to go up and try and find that window. So she'll let the party know, like, I want to see if I can find him.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to go too. I'm looking for my friends, and they're not here. This is weird.
I guess as we just go up, I almost said Blossom. Clover is going to continue to listen for things, like try and see if there's any movement or noises outside of my party.
I'm sorry, can you repeat what you just said? I was sending...
Oh, yes, go ahead. I was just gonna, like, as I'm going up floor by floor, Clover will be actively, like, perception checking, so I think she's listening for noises or signs of life at this point. She's worried he's dead, so she's hoping to find signs of life.
Okay. Alrighty. And is everyone following? Or is it just Dove?
Devin,
going
Mr.
to-
Stump.
Mr. Stump, Dawn and Ego, what are you guys doing?
Does it seem like there's more to sift through in the junk pile of note, as in like an additional check? Just if that's something able to be determined. Like, does it seem like an additional check might yield more stuff in the junk pile, or is it kind of plain to see all of it, even though it's in a pile? Does that
Roll an
make sense?
investigation check.
Okay. Because I want to stay by the guy with the giant sword and shield. That's just me, though. 24.
Yeah, so you actively pick through this junk pile and look at it pretty deeply, and you do notice those stilts that are there unless Dawn does something like with them. You see them as well, and you like can recognize that they're stilts. I mean, there's some like a lot of the pipes that are in here are like a little corroded, but there's a couple of them that are made out of like pretty nice copper, like like nice metal pipes. There's like some decent tools here, but you feel fairly confident that there isn't, unless you find tools and pieces of piping valuable, you don't feel like there's anything valuable in this pile. Other than the stilts are strange. You know what? That was such a good investigation check. You think back to being in that 5-foot deep water before you guys went to sleep, and you think that having some stilts like that might be pretty handy. Because they would put you more than 5 feet above the water.
I think, yeah, because Ego would have come over because of Dawn's interest. So I think, not that I'm inclined to.
There's the 12 o'clock Wi-Fi drop.
Not that Ego is inclined to steal, but I think I will say to Dawn, and I don't want to let everyone else get too far ahead, so I think this all happens relatively quickly in Ego's mind, putting this together, but, we do have trouble making our way through the swamp. It might be smart to make something or get some of our own if we're going to be traversing that for a long time. Don't you think?
He kind of spares a glance at them and says, yeah, I suppose that does make sense. I don't know how easy it is to move around on stilts.
I don't know, I haven't tried, but it looks like the others want to move on. As far as I can tell, this is just someone that has adapted well to the place that he lives. Might be good to not get too separated.
I agree. Besides, if something fishy is going on here, I don't know if it would be good to leave the others alone.
Is this you being a good brother?
I think it's just me having common sense.
Tomato.
We have a bad luck girl, a whatever the hell Dove is, and a stump.
Rightly so. I will wrap my arm around your arm. I'm ready to go up with them. They probably get a little bit ahead, but I don't want to wait too long with them out of sight.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. So for the subgroup of people that head up initially, but also for the other two following behind, as you ascend the staircase, you enter into darkness. The blinds of some sort, something covering the windows, obscures all but a few weak shafts of light. And yeah, like the room is just bathed in darkness. Fairies don't have dark vision. it's basically pitch black in here.
Okay. Everything.
Could I use Druidcraft to do like a small like lightning bulb or not lightning bulb, a lightning bug effect? Like
Does Druidcraft allow you to create a light source? Because light is like a specific thing in D&D, and I don't know that it does. You can make a lightning bug. It doesn't really help you see.
Okay.
Druidcraft will let you.
Does it?
Not that effect, a different one. You can light any existing candles, torches, or campfires in a room, if there are any, that you can light them.
I mean, I would have a torch or something, a light source, knowing Clover.
Do you have a torch in your inventory? Because this is so with your materials and like your rations and everything, like this is something that we are like this needs to be kept track of. So
Yeah.
if you have it in your inventory, you can use it. If you don't have it, you don't have it.
Okay, let me look.
And make sure you check if you have like an explorer's pack or like a dungeoneer's pack. Like those have items.
Oh, I don't know if
them.
I actually got one of those packs. Did I?
You had like your tent and stuff.
Yeah, but I just did that. Like
Yeah.
I added that myself because I was like, what would she have? I don't think I did that.
I think Faye because normally that gear is determined by your background. I know we all have.
Right.
I don't think we do.
Okay, I guess I don't.
You guys, whatever you guys decided to put on your inventory when you were making your character sheets is what you have, other than what you've acquired in the time since.
I will use my prestidigitation and just like feel out and like try to light something if there's anything in the room. I imagine if the thing says you can light a candle or torch, then
So you're basically like trying to have your magic like seek out something to light.
yeah, if it sees anything, if it senses a torch or a candle, it'll light it. I think that would be...
Yeah, your magic searches out and does not find anything that is intended to be a light source in this room.
Could I like makeshift one with my painter supplies? Could I use like one of the brushes?
I mean,
It's probably not going to last very long, but at least it would give us a direction.
It's not going to last very long, but yeah, you can.
Yeah,
So
I don't know what else to do. Other than like lighting clothes on fire. I don't want to get naked.
I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire on myself, on Clover, and whoever is behind me.
Okay, so what kind of lighting does that create for you?
Each object in a... Oh, I actually don't need to pick.
Objects, too.
Each object in a 20-foot cube. So every object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined, and I'm going to make it violet light. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light. If it fails a dex saving throw. For duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light of 10 feet.
Okay.
It's kind of cool because it's like the edge light effect on like.
Oh my god, yeah.
On like video editing programs and stuff, the filter.
Oh yeah.
So you're like getting just like the outlines of everything in the room. That's kind of cool.
Cool. Okay.
I like that. That's a really smart way of using that spell.
Give me a second. I'm moving you guys.
I got a 0 on my dex save, by the way.
You're a glowing stump.
I got... a 4.
Nice.
Okay. Is anyone... Are you guys letting it happen, or is anyone like trying to evade it?
No, even if we tried, both me and Stump failed. So, but yeah, no, I think we would at least Clover would allow it because that's really smart.
I think with a 0, I'd probably allow it too.
Yeah.
He didn't even know to dodge it.
He's like, dodges after. He's already glowing.
I'm going with he because you say Mr. Stump, but I guess I don't know.
Yeah, Mr. Stump. We'll go with he.
Okay.
Oh, I don't
Each
see
object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined. Creatures, they save for the duration, they shed light in a 10-foot radius. So it's a 20-foot cube. You can literally light up the entire room because it's not 20 feet across. Okay, so...
Like a disco rave in here.
And it
Nice.
creates dim light?
Dim light 10 feet out from whatever's it's lit. But if everything in the room is within 20 feet, everything in 20 feet is lighting up.
Okay, so the space around you, which I have now revealed on the Roll20, the space would be quite cozy if not for like this awkward slant to the floor. You can see that there is a plush sofa, a colorful bookshelf, and blankets that are positioned around the exterior of the room. The sofa and a couple of the chairs, like those seem like they're heavy enough to maintain their spot within the tower, from what you can see. Paintings decorate the walls. They're strangely hung, but clearly well cared for. The rugs, which are a victim of the tilt, they pool near where you are at the top of the stairs.
Dang. Whose little nook is this? Elmer?
Yeah, I think it's probably Elmer's. I just kind of want to yell for him. Maybe he'll come.
I'm excited to see what yelling for Mr. Stump is like.
Elmer.
That's what I thought.
Incredible.
Not so loud.
Elmer, where are you?
Wow.
He didn't answer.
What kind of books are on the bookshelf?
Yeah, so...
Longest the Horlock.
Yep.
Roll me a perception check. Schlungus the Warlock, the Tree and Morning Wood.
My passive...
Baby's hand job.
My passive would be 14, but I rolled... a dirty 20.
Nice. Yeah, so you approach the bookshelf, and one of the first things that catches your eye is you see something kind of silvery white behind the bookshelf. But as you look at the books themselves, you see a few that stand out to you. There's one that says Hunting Wabbits, a guide to dealing with hostile hares.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh
You
my
see
god.
one that's titled Hydrology in the Feywild. You see another one that says Moose Snakes and Me.
Moose makes me hydro. The hunting wabbits sounds.
Hunting wabbits.
Hunting wabbits.
We've already hunted some wabbits.
Elmer loves hunting weapons.
Oh, does he?
Elmer
Yeah.
Fudd.
Oh my god, his name is Elmer.
His name is Elmer. Oh my
And
god.
he likes hunting rabbits.
And he's a dog named Clover.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay. Okay, it's all coming
What's everybody
together.
else doing?
We're connecting the dots is what's happening here.
I'm just kind of wandering around the room, saying Elmer at the same level that I always talk with.
Can I
Okay.
gauge how far up I had to fly to get to, like, could I gauge where, like, how many levels up?
Each one is 10, each level's about like 10 feet, because the tower's like 50 feet tall, so like at this point you're about...
And I went 30 feet, right? Up to see the creature. Did I go up 33 feet? How far up did I go?
You were like basically at the top, like you were like...
Oh, I was at the top. Oh, okay.
40, 45-ish.
Okay, so I have to go to the top.
Couple floors.
Gotcha.
Maybe 3 floors.
Okay.
I do have dark vision. I know that
you do.
everything is technically lit.
Mhm.
I
Lit.
believe it's dimly lit.
It is dimly lit.
So my dark vision allows me to see in dim light as if it is bright light.
Mhm.
So does that higher level of clarity, I would also like to look around the room. Obviously, no one has called out what they see, but just from a mechanical standpoint, could I also look around the room and see if I see something that they did not see?
You can roll a perception check, and since it's dim light, nobody else has disadvantage. But because you have dark vision, you can have advantage.
Okay, cool.
On a perception check.
I will. Oh, that is performance, not perception. Well, it's better than rolling a 2. It's a 13.
Okay. So you peek around the room, and you see like a variety of mismatched like armchairs and like the sofa and the bookshelf, which is kind of near like the top of the steps. You see like a little bit of like silver white near the bottom of one of like the armchairs.
Okay. Ego will because Ego does everything slowly and thinks about it, so Ego will notice that and move towards it, but I think that would be enough time for other people to do things before I do something else.
Dawn and Clover, y'all doing anything?
I think I'm just gonna like keep going up until I find that window. Unless someone stops me, because she's like trying to like strain her ears to listen as she goes higher.
Yeah, Donna's going to probably just sort of don't go too far.
Okay.
Yeah, we still don't know what's in here.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the top, like still be in the room, but like go up like partially.
Okay, I'm gonna put a pin in that. For the two people that were kind of perceiving / investigating like things in the room, is there anything that the two of you want to do? Mr. Stump, is there anything that you want to do other than calling out Elmer? Yeah, like I mean, there's the furniture around the room. There's portraits on the wall. There's the rug that's pulled at the top of the stairs, and there's like some sort of like. Well, actually, now that there's dim light, you guys can see that the windows are covered in spiderwebs. And that's why there was no light.
I don't
These
think
was
I
very
would
thick.
be worried about like investigating. I would probably just go for the stairs like Clover.
Okay.
And I'll wait for everybody else as well.
Okay, so for Ego and Dove, anything else you guys are doing? I know Ego, you said you were kind of going towards. We're gonna resolve that first.
Okay.
Because there's like an order of operations that we want to clear the second floor before we go to 3.
Yeah. Ego is going to be going towards that silvery thing that you said that they saw.
Mm-hmm.
To get a closer look at that. And also, because I don't think you have described it, could you describe what those portraits are of, by any chance?
I sure can. So, for the portraits, you see a variety of paintings of an individual with red skin, a bulbous nose, bald head, and big like mutton chop, like dark brownish black facial hair. He has like a very in this individual's like smile, you can see that he has like pronounced canines, but not enough that they're like tusks. He has like very jolly smile on his face, very like happy, like eyes that smile. You know, it's like a genuine smile. And he has his arm wrapped around a bloodhound, who is just kind of like making a dopey, droopy dog face in the painting. And then like in another painting, there's one of this individual with his foot like up on some sort of like rounded stone wall, and he's holding a hammer, and the dog is sitting next to him. And then in another one, it's like him laying on like a bearskin rug by a fireplace in like a loincloth, and the dog is like sitting on the couch in the background. Incredible.
Oh my. Okay. Thank you for that.
Actually, it's the rug. You know what? No, it's the rug that's pulled at the top of the stairs. The dog is sitting on like the couch that's at the The couch is like nestled at the part where the stairs going up like end, like where the wall kind of like juts out. It's that couch and that rug that's at the top of the stairs you guys just came up. And he's just like laying on it. Yeah.
Also, I don't know if Ego would know necessarily what this person's lineage is. Would this possibly be, just for my own mental image, is this possibly a hobgoblin man?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and then as you approach the, you go to get a closer look at this like whitish silvery thing that you're seeing behind, like at the base of the legs of the furniture. It's spiderwebs. It's holding the furniture in place.
Spiderwebs holding furniture in place.
Yeah. At this angle, like, you realize that, like, it doesn't make sense. It kind of clicks for you now. You're like, okay, yeah, the rug fell. The furniture should have slid because all of the pipes downstairs slid, but none of these did. And you see the spider webs, and you're like, oh, okay, they've been anchored here.
It's not being held hostage by a spider thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, while Ego doesn't necessarily say anything, for the people that are not going towards the stairs, i.e. Dove and Dawn, I guess, Ego has basically gone down, because Ego has gone down over towards that chair and has, like, squatted, and I'm rubbing my chin like this. Also, I think, and I'm not gonna, like, beat around the bush, probably felt my own mutton chops when I was looking at the portrait. I'm kind of like a respect for the man. But yeah, Ego is just like full squat, and it's like animal squat. Like, I don't like bend down and put like my arms on my knees. I'm like hands
Also, like,
on the floor. Yeah. And I'm
Can
like
you
looking
guys-
underneath the chair.
Can you guys just reposition? I know Clover is in the right spot, but for Dawn, Dove, and Ego, can you guys show me where you're at?
that
So yeah,
chair.
Dove's at the book. Yeah, I mean, it's all of the furniture. Now that you like look over at the chair next to it, you see the webbing.
Okay. Yeah, so we've kind of like the friends all scattered to the winds.
Yeah. So Clover, you go to make your way up the stairs.
Making
And
my way. Fluttering my way.
I need to move you because you're not getting that high.
Flying my way.
You begin to like flutter your way
Flutter
up
my way.
the stairs, and suddenly, out of nowhere,
Uh-oh.
an eardrum shattering howl
Oh.
emits. I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh.
What do I do? What I do? What I do?
I'm just not gonna.
I'm good.
I'm good at wisdom
I'm
saving
good.
throws.
I'm okay at this.
23.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
6.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I have a +4.
Oh.
Mr.
ouch.
Stump, you also need to roll it.
Oh, the
19.
9.
And what was Don's?
19.
Okay.
Fuck me, dude.
I'm right there with you.
Maybe when Ego says I'm not afraid of things and I'm not sad, maybe Ego is lying.
Maybe he's lying. Why you always lie?
So
Uh-oh.
this howl that none of you were expecting rings out. For anybody who rolled below an 11, which I believe is Mr. Stump and Ego and Dawn?
Dawn was 19.
19.
Dawn was 19.
It was just
Okay.
Ego and Stump.
Okay, so for the two of you, you are frightened. Let's see.
I just turned up the volume on that music, 'cause holy shit.
Yeah. You are frightened, the two of you. And what none of you noticed before, because the lighting is dim, is that on this couch,
Oh, I
curled into the shadows, and emerging from the shadows themselves is a dog.
Oh.
made of pure shadow himself.
Oh no.
Hi, Bendy.
And his head is raised as this howl emits from his gnarled black jaws. And I need everybody to roll me initiative.
Okay.
Oh no, I don't want to hurt the boy.
Frightened doesn't give disadvantage on ability checks, right?
Oh
It's
damn,
attack
I'm really good
rolls.
at this.
Let's see.
Actually,
Frightened.
I
A
don't-
creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its
okay.
fear is within line of sight, and you cannot
I have
willingly move closer to the source of your fear.
Okay, so I have disadvantage on initiative, which would also mean Mr.
Where's my notes thing? Boop. Boop.
I need to remember that for scaring other people.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, okay, I forget.
I forgot.
Oh, I forgot.
No.
Yeah, I forgot.
Okay, what's everybody's initiative? 25 to 20.
1.
Dirty 20.
Okay, so
Also,
21 is Dove. What did Dawn get?
I got also a 20 because I rolled a natural 20.
Oh,
Who has the higher dex?
She definitely does.
Oh yeah,
plus
if you rolled a
3.
natural 20 and yours is a 20, then yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dove, Clover, Dawn. Okay. Mr. Stump and Ego, what did y'all get?
7.
13.
Okay. 13, Ego.
This music
7.
Yeah, this music's lit.
Mr. Stump. Okay. So-
Question for you, DM. Do
Yes.
we see do we... Mechanically, we don't know, but, do we see them being scared?
I mean, Mr. Stump is a stump.
True.
Not really
My
much.
And
little
Ego
reeds.
is very hard to read, so maybe not.
I mean, Mr. Stump's little sprout that's coming off of the
Oh,
top
my
of his head
sprout.
is quivering.
Oh.
I mean, Ego, I don't want to. How Ego emotes having the frightened condition is up to Ink to decide.
Okay.
My hair puffs up like a Studio Ghibli character.
Oh, hell yes!
Okay.
I fucking love
So,
that.
So because
A lot
none of you
my
have
emotions in my head.
Because none of you have a passive perception of 21, you are all surprised when Wover strikes, so he gets a surprise round on you first.
Wolver, no!
Wolver, no!
So I believe it was Clover was the one going up the stairs with Mr. Stump behind, and then Dawn was also by the stairs.
Mhm.
Was Dawn going up the stairs, or was he just standing by them?
He was standing by the stairs because he was keeping an eye on Clover to make sure that nothing happened.
Okay.
Something happened.
Something
So,
happened. Of course
this-
you triggered this.
yeah, in case something happened. Let me beep beep beep. Get this. Get this. Get this. Copy. Maps, handouts, pics. Boom. This is what you see emerging from the shadows on top of that couch that was in that little corner.
And
What's up?
oh,
Shit.
Wolver,
teeth.
no.
And this beast, its eyes quickly go towards the stairs, and it immediately is actually going to lunge for Dawn.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, no, that's an 8 to hit.
Oh, I still don't have a good armor class, but that's a 14. My armor class is a 14, so it doesn't hit.
Yeah. Okay.
So immediately, shield goes up.
Yeah. And then as a bonus action,
Uh-oh.
the dog is going to Shadow Blend. And so this dog lunges for Dawn and snaps its jaws, but Dawn is able to kind of do a little satyr spring backwards and the jaws just close down on air, and the dog growls and basically like dives into a little shadow that's like in the corner because the space is dim light. Oh, he would have had advantage because you're all fairy fired. Hold on. No, same number. I rolled the same number.
No, fairy fire only works on if one of my allies does something against something I've fairy fired. So if we wanted to friendly fire on ourselves, then they would have advantage. I think.
But if any creature is illuminated by that like fairy fire, any attack roll against
we get advantage on us.
Has advantage if the attacker can see it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why fairy fire can be really, really helpful, but like it can be dicey with like if you friendly fire with a fairy fire, because it can also hurt you.
Interesting. All right. Now I know.
So he dives into the shadows and is going to become invisible. Dawn, you do get an attack of opportunity, but it is at disadvantage because he is invisible, but he is leaving your space.
Okay, I will he'll try to swipe back at it before it vanishes as he sees it like I rolled a 14 and a 13 plus
You're gonna hit.
Okay. 19 to hit, yeah.
Yeah, roll damage.
One handling it, so it's a D8. That's D10. That is 9 slashing damage.
Okay. So as this dog is diving into the shadows, you very quickly like lunge out with your sword, and you see it connect with like the dog's flanks, and you hear it like let out a little whine, but it continues to move into the shadows. We then move to the top of the initiative order. The dog rolled a natural 20, so the dog gets to do another turn. I am sorry.
I rolled a natural 22.
What is your dex?
+1, 21.
It has a higher dex than you. It has a 22 total on its initiative. So the dog is then going to... Well, let's see if it recharges a towel. Nope. It's going to go for Clover.
Oh no.
So, because it's emerging from shadow, it has advantage on the attack against you. It's going to leap out of the shadows at you as you are floating up the stairs.
No.
That's a natural 20.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, no.
It's going to bite you.
Oh no.
She's fucking dead!
Do it to me, Vic. Do it. She has bad luck. This is in character. It's fine. She has bad luck.
Okay. What's your hit point maximum?
Oh no!
Because I rolled 21 points of damage.
Oh, it's 17.
Okay,
Oh,
so
she's
you
not
are
dead.
I'm not dead, but
you're
I
not
am
dead,
out.
but you are instantly unconscious.
I'm
This
insta
dog-
out.
Okay, so it's
Cool.
sort of like
That would have killed me last level.
Yeah, so this dog, you all watch as, like, a shadow that's near the top of the stairs warbles a little, and this dog launches out and lunges and grabs Clover fully in its jaws in midair, like, bites down on her ribcage, you hear a crunch, and then, like, dives down and lands on the stairs and is just shaking her back and forth in its mouth.
Oh, I am
No!
broken doll confirmed. Okay.
Yeah, this is like
Cool.
a dog that you hold up.
I'm the toy.
Yeah, you're the
I'm
toy.
the toy.
and It got you.
I'm just
really
imagining
sorry.
Pepper, like, because she gets like the big toys, and she just like whips it against the floor, and I feel like that's what it's like doing.
You would have had to roll a strength saving throw, but I mean, you're not
hot
prone anyway.
dang it, that's my dump stat. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I wish he attacked me.
The dog
I really
cannot
did.
go in. The dog cannot shadow blend when it's holding somebody in its mouth. So it stands at the top of the stairs with Clover in its mouth, and it's just like very defensively, like looking at the rest of you. Next up, we have Dove.
I'm gonna pull out a little bit of like food from my pouch, like a little piece of meat, and I'm gonna play my little pan flute in my other hand, and I'm gonna play a string and like magic infuse like the eye contact I'm making with the dog. I'm gonna cast animal friendship, and I'm gonna say, "No, baby, don't do that." And I'm gonna tell him to put her down. I'm gonna try to charm him. It's a beast, right?
Dove, roll just like a general wisdom check for Dove. Dove is someone who Dove would have this knowledge. I think she would have had the opportunity to learn it.
8. Not great.
No,
Not
roll.
great wisdom, that sucks.
Oh, no.
All right. So I'm not going to give you the info, but what I am going to say is that Dove has worked with strange creatures, and in her time with her mentor, she has learned that there are creatures that look like the beasts, like mundane beasts that we know, but not all of them are mundane. And Berry and Moonshine were examples of that. One was a dog made of fire, and another one had 2 heads. And you were looking
made of shadow.
You were looking at a dog made of shadow. I'm not going to say it outright, but Dove literally trained as an animal tamer for her whole life. So
okay, so this won't probably work.
I'm gonna give you that and let you make a choice about that.
Yeah, it definitely won't work. It's fine. I'll do something else. Maybe. Let's see.
Thank you for the Game Master inspiration chat for hunting wabbits or hunting fairies at this point.
Do we really need to give Vic a Game Master's inspiration though?
Oh, this sucks. Oh god.
Oh no, Kristy made her lights red. No, I just noticed.
Ah! Unconscious. Okay,
I'm in the red, boys.
There's a wrench into my plan. Oh god. It's not an animal, it's not a beast, so I can't even speak to it either, huh?
Okay, so you would know that the magic that you know specifically targets beasts, but if you can think of a creative way that you think you would talk to this creature beyond just casting a spell,
okay.
But we can basically rule of cool. If you can give me an example of why you think you would be able to communicate with this beast, based on who Dove is as a person, we'll see what happens. You guys always have the option to try to do those things.
Oh god, this is.
You gotta just sell it to me.
Okay, I thought maybe the reason I thought that Dove would be able to do this is because Berry and Moonshine, because those are dogs specifically. Those are not normal animals. They're other creatures from other planes. So she was kind of I've dealt with a dog that's from another plane before. I've actually dealt with 2. Maybe I kind of have some sort of semblance that this isn't a normal dog. It won't react normally to me like a dog does. So that's kind of the reason why maybe that she might know how to talk to them maybe a bit different. Maybe it's a bit more primal than most things. That's my only.
So what do you say? What do you say to the dog, or what do you try to do to the dog to make it listen to you? Because that is valid.
I'm gonna present the food because it's more interesting than the
dead fairy
unconscious body in its mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to speak a little bit in that guttural way that I've spoken to Berry Moonshine before, and just be it's okay, try to imply no harm to, I'm guessing it's Dad. I want to try to imply that with the way my body's moving and offering the food to it. That's
okay.
Kind of what I want to do. I want it to drop immediately, mostly, but I'm trying to act calm.
Yeah, so why don't you roll me either an animal handling or a persuasion check, whatever you would prefer.
Definitely am. 12. Oh, great.
Sorry, y'all, there's a lot of things are happening. Okay, so you spend your action trying to soothe the dog and distract it with a treat. And you have you were never given the opportunity to formally perform with Barry and Moonshine, but you spend a lot of time around them. And, like, you know the body language, and, like, funnily enough, like, yes, like, these kinds of dogs that you've worked with are not dogs, but they kind of still are, and there are certain body language things that, like, you just know, and they just transcend, whether they're magical dogs or not. And you see that this dog, while Clover is still closed into its jaws, tilts its head at you, puts her down, and is, like, looking at you with its, like, ears perked, and its head is tilted. Tilts its head the other way. And you can see its little nose is twitching. It is not approaching, it is still very much, like, you see these, like, its hackles aren't raised, but there are, like, wisps of shadow emanating from its back, and its body language is still very much, like, defensive, but it has dropped Clover, and its attention is on you.
Okay. I'll take it. That's my turn?
Okay. Any bonus action?
Oh, yes. One bonus action. A creature of my choice that I can see within my range. I'm just gonna be like, hey, Hellcat, get up, come on! And I'm gonna be like really urging through magic, healing word for Clover, and she regains hit points equal 1d6 plus my spellcast mod.
Roll those hit points. Clover, I need you to roll me a d20.
Do you want me to type it to you, or do you want me to say it?
Say it.
7.
Okay. Good to know. So what does Dove's healing magic look like?
It's like a couple notes on her pan flute, and it looks like these, like, it's almost like this rainbow light that comes out, and it just makes these, like, little shapes. Almost looks like a little animal parade, very, very vaguely, like you just can barely see it. And they kind of, like, dance around, they dance around over Clover's body. And then just absorb into her.
Clover, you come to consciousness.
How many hit points?
6.
6?
You have 6 hit points.
Okay.
So, you all may remember, it hasn't really been relevant until this point in time. One of our house rules that we talked about when we were first starting this game was lingering injuries, which when you take a critical hit, or when an enemy takes a critical hit, you have to roll on a table to see whether or not you are dealt a critical injury. Clover, you have suffered organ damage from this bite. This creature's jaws, like, literally, like, pierced your chest cavity. Whenever you attempt an action in combat, which your turn is the next one in the order, you have to roll a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, you lose your action and can't use reactions until the start of your next turn.
Ooh.
Okay. Can
I
you
forgot we knew about that.
can you write that down
That's
in my
a
character
bad one.
thing, Beck, so I know I can
Yeah.
write it?
Yep.
Thanks.
This literally was not relevant until this point, until we
It
got to the
is?
Feywild.
We don't know. What's the healthcare system like in the Feywild?
So I need you to roll me a con save right now, because it's your turn. So I'm getting this copied over to you.
Jesus.
Maybe I should stop using this dice. 6.
Okay, so you come to consciousness and you, like, instinctually take this, like, deep gasp of breath in, and you instantly can feel that, like, your lung has been punctured. And so you are, like, gasping for air. Like, it's sort of like when somebody's lung, like, detaches from, like, their... Yeah, so that's basically happening to you right now. You basically have to spend your action, like, just in agonizing pain. But you're conscious.
Can I stand or try to like get on all fours at the very least, so I'm not 100% prone?
You lose your action, and your reaction is also spent. But that's all it says. So you still have a bonus action of movement. You are like at the feet of this dog that stands like 4 feet tall.
Okay, I'm going to like roll so I'm not near its face, but I'm not leaving its attack range. So could I like go to its side so I'm not like directly? So I kind of like roll my body, and I don't even think she gets fully standing. I think she just kind of crouches low, holding her left side?
Your right side.
My right side? I'm holding my right side. I'm kind of hunched over. Her ears are flat. Her tail is poofed. She's like whining and hissing at the same time. And that is my turn.
It is actually very... Wow, yeah. The dog caught the...
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hissing at this dog. Fuck this dog. Fuck this dog.
Fuck this dog. Dawn. So you can see that the dog's attention has shifted from from Clover, and the dog is defensive but looking at Dove and with interest, like tentative interest. Clover has reawoken after Dove's magic like suffused through her body, but she is very visibly hurting badly. Like she's gasping for breath.
Yeah, Dawn has to make a decision right now because he knows that Dove does animal training shit, and is clearly trying to get the dog to calm down. But he also just watched that same dog like shake Clover like a ragdoll, and now she is in pain right next to said dog. So it's a decision between do I like let Dove continue doing her thing, or
you don't have to. It's reasonable.
Yeah.
She mostly just wanted it to drop over so she didn't like crunch and like make her fail 2 death saving throws. So it's up to you whether or not the dog calms down. We'll see.
What's Dawn doing? He's very torn, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I literally like. That was a hell of a start.
Yeah. I think he's going to prioritize Clover's safety overall over Dove's skill set. I think it's something where he's like, Dove can do animal taming stuff whenever. Clover can't. You only live once.
Hello.
So basically his overprotective big brother instincts kick in like full throttle, and he's up in the dog's face, and he's going to swing on it.
Okay, roll for an attack.
Yeah. That is a 15 to hit.
Roll for damage.
And he is probably going to, for the first time ever, just because he's feeling I heard that crunch, he's probably also going to smite.
Oh!
Okay.
Oh!
Yeah, so roll your damage for me and tell me what your smite looks like.
Yeah. I can't even smite at this level. Is that something else? Hold on.
You just got another inspiration, Vic.
Oh, snap.
Why?
I know,
save
right?
the pup.
Volpirate says save the pup. You are exactly right, Volpirate. Thank you. I will.
Yeah.
I'll kill the whole party.
The pup is the best.
Yeah.
It's the owner that's at fault, not the dog.
Wow, y'all bringing Elmer into this?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Graf. What were you saying?
I'm calculating the damage. So the normal damage is, I rolled max on the die, so 12 slashing damage.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, he's not fucking around with this dog, and another 12 radiant damage.
Whoa.
Wouch.
Okay. So
Unless it's a fiend, and then there's another D8, but I don't think it is.
it is not a fiend. One thing I forgot to mention on the last strike that you did is when your sword just like by itself, and it kind of makes sense that you would then smite based off of this information. When your sword like struck the dog almost seemed like ever so slightly incorporeal. Like you connected with something, but you don't feel like you did as much damage as you would expect. Not that you have a lot of experience with swords, but you're like, come on, like that makes no sense.
Yeah.
So you decide to pump a smite into this, and what does that look like?
So basically, he like rushes forward, and you know that anime moment of like one instant they're away from you and the next they're in your face, and all you see is like their eye.
Yeah, it's like
that's basically what he does as he like runs up these stairs to go protectively stand by Clover. I mean, and he like swings the sword, and there's not like any light or anything, I don't think immediately, but there is a lot of like wind. So when it hits, there's like a tangible like gust of wind that blows out, and then vines begin to like grow on the walls around where the impact happened.
Hell yeah. I have to look up something with smite really quick. Divine Smite. It just deals radiant damage?
Yeah.
It doesn't have any other effects, right?
No, I did not use a spell smite.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so you like pump this magic into the spell, and like instantly these vines like sprout from the ground just beneath the dog, and they're this like vibrant like living green color, and they instantly rush up the walls and down the stairs in the space around this dog, almost like creating like that like area of impact, and the dog like cowers back as you strike into it, and like it's whimpering, but it like you see its nose twitch as it like sniffs you, and it snarls and bares its teeth at you.
Yeah, he just kind of holds his shield up in response, and is kind of just over Clover. I'm getting mixed up. They're both my girls.
Yeah. Well, Clover's underwover, so you know. And
Yeah.
then Dove is.
Clover's underwover.
Yeah. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I don't have anything I want to do with my bonus action right now, so that's my turn.
Okay. Ego, you're up. Mr. Stump, you are on deck.
Okay. Okay, okie dokie.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I do not make an additional save at the start of my turn to end this frighten. I'm guessing it's at the end of my turn, if at all.
I was gonna help you with
Yeah,
that,
so
but
this dog, like, what you just witnessed, like, your mother has told you, like, stories, like, things to scare you, and has told you stories that you should tell other people to scare them so that you could exert your influence over them or get them to behave in the way that you wanted. But nothing quite prepared you for it's not even that the dog itself, I mean, I feel like Ego doesn't find the dog scary, but it's just like the fact that this thing instantly snuffed out a life, which is a kind of power that Ego really only ever knew their mother to be capable of, that like for a second maybe like puts like you feel weird.
I feel mortal.
Yeah, like you witness mortality in a way that like was something your mother always exerted influence over, and because of that you never took it seriously necessarily. You took it seriously, but as something that you controlled, not others, and so you feel like a loss of agency with what's just happened.
Yeah.
Well, I can't tell you what to feel, but I
think that's definitely at the core of what fear is for Ego, because if I remember correctly, I told you that my greatest fear was lack of control. So all of that and more going through Ego's head, instinctively wanting to cast a firebolt on this creature, but I am both afraid and I remember no fire. but I can't move closer to it.
Mhm.
So that really limits what Ego can do combat-wise.
Uh-huh.
So Ego is going to have what Ego does. Is I've backed up against this wall in between the two chairs. My scissors are in my hand, and I'm like holding them like some sort of safety blanket. And Ego is singing to themselves very, very quietly. Very, very, yeah. Not even with the blade up, honestly. It's probably like the blade, yeah, it's holding them like that. And they're singing very quietly to themselves. They're like, only shadows follow me. Only ghosts come calling. Trying to calm himself down. I will, with my bonus action, initiate my blade saw.
Okay. And that gives you like a little bit of boost to like your movement and such, right?
My AC gets a +4. My movement speed gets a +10. I have advantage on acrobatics checks, etc., etc., etc.
Nice.
None of that is going to help now, but it's more of a defensive measure, so mostly for the AC boost. I looked at the portrait earlier, though. I am still pretty smart. I do know this is Wover.
Wover, the dog that you saw in the portrait.
Or no.
The dog that you saw in the portrait was like a bloodhound. So like
Okay.
dark, it had like a chocolatey brown fur and like big droopy ears and like droopy jowls. And so you're basically just seeing a dog that is made out of shadow right now.
But it's the Feywild. Do I want to try and see if this is Wover? I think I'm gonna try and see if this is Wover. Ego's like, I want to help. That's the other thing that goes in their head. Is my first friend is in trouble.
That is your first friend. Oh yeah, that is your first friend.
That's my first friend. So in light of not being able to use fire, not being able to attack with my scissors, I feel very out of control. I'm going to try and bring some control back. I'm going to use my action to cast Disguise Self and try and look like Elmer.
Okay.
I've seen him in the portrait.
Okay. What does it look like when you cast Disguise Self? I don't think we've seen you. Have we seen you do that?
I did it once for my clothes, so this is my whole body.
Yeah.
So what actually happens is my hair comes down from under my hat and creates a curtain around my entire body. And then when my hair pulls back up into my hat, now I'm Wover. It's like a big shower curtain just falls down in front of me, and then it comes back up, and I look like Elmer. Sorry, not Wover. I don't know what he sounds like, but I'm going to attempt to hopefully just have a kind of deep, maybe put a little bit of an accent on it, and I'm going to say, Wover, heal, stop, no.
Roll a performance check for me, and I will give you advantage because of your Disguise Self.
I am proficient in performance now. Come on, I will. I forget. Do I have to state whether I use the d6 before I roll?
You can just use it whenever. You can just use it whenever you want.
I'm gonna add the d6 probably. I'll see what the roll is. Yeah. Okay. I'll add the d6. Okay. So with it, you said I had advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Altogether, 21 performance.
Yeah, so you do your best to imitate this individual that you see in the portrait, and you see immediately like the dog's eyes shift to you, and you see its nose is twitching, and it's like sniffing, and it's looking at you, and you see its head like turns and looks at you. And it like it's positioning its body very defensively towards Dawn, but it keeps like Like when a dog is scared of something and it kind of like will keep like looking over at it while trying to like look at something else, like it's doing that. Its attention is split over a lot of places and it's like looking a little overwhelmed, but you hear it like let out a high-pitched whine as it looks at you. It's not moving yet.
Yeah.
It's still very defensive looking, but
And I'm still very scared. Can I try to not be scared? Can I try to get control back over the situation? Ending my turn.
yeah, you can roll another save. It's a wisdom saving throw.
Now it's an 18.
Yeah, with that, like you instantly feel a sense of control restored, and you are no longer frightened.
Okay, so then I stand, instead of being like, Clover, it's like, yes. I'm Elmer.
Quick question, Ink, because you're the rules person here, and you're always very knowledgeable about things. If something can see ethereal creatures and objects, does that give it the ability to see through a magical disguise?
No, seeing through illusions is different from seeing into the ethereal plane.
Okay. That's what I thought.
If I was so like something that you can see ghosts.
Okay.
But you have to make, generally it's said that you have to make an intelligence check to try and determine the trueness of illusions.
Okay, cool. Mr. Stump, you are frightened of this dog. You see Ego transform into your friend Elmer. I think you I don't know if you have like true sight or like blind sight. I think you have blind sight, right?
On the sheet I have, it doesn't say.
Doesn't say? Okay. Yeah, but so you're frightened. The cat one, Clover, just like almost died. The dog is standing at the top of the steps and is looking defensive and confused. What are you doing?
How far am I from the dog?
You're
I can't move towards it.
You're like at the bottom of the steps, so you're like 5 or 10 feet away from it.
I have 10-foot reach. I'm just gonna try to hug the dog.
Are you making like a grapple attack? Is that like what this is? Or are you literally just gonna hug the dog?
I'm just gonna try to hug the dog. Like it's my friend. I've been missing him. It's my buddy.
Okay. Roll an animal handling check at disadvantage.
Okay. 2.
Yeah, so you reach out your like little roots towards this dog to go to hug it. And instantly the dog's attention that had been kind of split between the other party members here, like it very quickly shifts to your branch and like lunges out and bites it and like rips it off. You take...
How rude.
7 points of piercing damage as this dog like just as a reaction like saw something coming at it in a very tense situation, and it didn't really have any like warning of what was happening. I'm gonna say like with your 2 animal handling, you didn't think to be like, hey Wover, it's Mr. Stump, like you just stuck a branch out at it so it reacted.
Yeah, I have resistance to piercing.
Okay, so then you only take 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dog bites off one of your little roots.
That's all I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm frightened, and he just bit me, so I'm gonna move away. My full 20 feet of movement.
Okay, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. 1.
Okay, yep, that dog is... You're like, if this is Wolver, I don't know him anymore. You're terrified.
Wolver's as bad as the brambles, holy crap.
Okay, so as we find ourselves in sort of like a standoff situation with this shadow mastiff, and the party kind of tries to get themselves out of a thorny, brambly situation, we are going to end things for the night here as we have gone 30 minutes over from the time that I said I was going to end. So I, apologize.
No!
Okay.
Thank you all for tuning in. Bull Pirate, thank you so much for that GM inspo. That's awesome. I can't wait to kill the party with Clover or this dog, whoever it is, next week, because we will be back next week so that we can get back onto our normal schedule.
Oh yeah.
So thank you to my players. Thank you to those of you watching. Thank you to Cardboard Castle and Little Dragon Corp for being our lovely sponsors. Any other announcements that anyone has before we call it for the evening?
GG BBs, that was so fun.
Yeah!
Gee.
It's really good.
It was really good.
Mortality in a single strike.
Oh,
Mortality
Bro.
clarified.
Yeah.
Mortality
Bro.
clarified
That
in a
was a
single
crazy hit.
strike.
Yeah, that was really bad.
it's so on brand, and I love it.
You
Why is it
really,
always
yeah.
Kristy? Why is it always Kristy, damn it?
I mean,
You
I'm
know-
playing an unlucky character. I did this to myself.
Better Kristy than me.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, alright, I just want to say thank you for tuning in and being so
Yeah,
active in the chat.
thanks for being
Yeah,
active
thank
in
you.
chat. You're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
love
know
that.
it's late, so I appreciate that. And you are absolutely right. The puppers do nothing wrong. If they don't get like a piece of cheese up in this bitch next session, they're done. I've got GM inspo and I'm ready to use it.
Oh my god.
Alrighty. Well, God. The next time you are trying to fight a shadow mastiff that has absolutely bodied and nearly insta-killed one of your party members, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. And we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Good